You will hear many, many no's along the way, especially as you start at the beginning, but all of those no's are actually not right nows.
I'm really excited to talk to you about your story because I think of what you have done for being 29 years old. You've had an extraordinary career. Dedication has been at the heart of your story. Talk about your life's journey to get to Mogul.
I moved from France to America. I was an immigrant here. It was here that I learned how to speak English at age 10. I struggled a lot trying to figure out ways in which to fit into society here. It was through those challenges that I learned more, and it enabled me to have more determination, to achieve more, to be able to bring more to the world that had given so much to me.
When you first told me about your story with your grandma, I got chills.
My grandmother was my truest inspiration because she ran newspapers in Asia to fight against propaganda and ultimately to work to democratize media within Asia. So growing up, I always wanted to be like her. And then when I was 14, my grandmother passed away. And all of a sudden that day, I made a promise to her that I would do everything I could to do as she had, to work in media, to provide information access, and follow in her footsteps.
You thought this at age 14.
Age 14, I was already starting to think about how I would do this. And already then by 16, I was applying to Yale, and I said in my college essays that one day I would do this. I would start this company for women to empower them and enable them, providing information access, like my grandmother. And then same thing, age 21, applied to Harvard Business School. And so as you can see, it was a long time journey for me.
Talk about what Mogul is and what your vision for the product is.
So Mogul is like the Reddit for women, essentially because it's enabling women to connect and share information and access knowledge from one another. Our philosophies are to be kind, authentic, and generous.
In a similar way to Reddit, there's the ability to upvote or downvote content. So essentially what the users love is what's rising up to the top. So it's the first thing you see when you come to the site.
Exactly. The homepage really showcases to you on a real-time basis what's trending amongst women's conversations in that real-time moment around the world. We reach 18 million women each week, female millennials all around the world, who access Mogul every single day from all 196 countries and 31,000 cities around the world.
I am certain that when you presented your idea to investors and to a number of individuals, they said, but wait, there's already a Reddit. Why do we need a Reddit for women? What did you say in answer to that question?
I knew that I might be faced with doubts. So the one way I could overcome those doubts was to have
success.
Exactly. To be backed by metrics which showcase the need.
What did you learn in those years about yourself and about creating a business?
That it takes a lot of determination and resilience, that you will hear many, many no's along the way, especially as you start at the beginning, but all of those no's are actually not right nows. And ultimately then when I launched the Mogul platform, it launched to 1 million users within its first week, becoming one of the fastest growing content platforms for women ever.
So you taught yourself how to code because the platform was the vision and you knew that in order to get to that vision, you'd have to learn how to code.
Absolutely. I started to realize that I knew every aspect of the media industry, but if I could just familiarize myself with the technology side, then perhaps I could make this a reality for all young women around the world.
When you started to learn coding, how did you learn it in the early stages?
So in the early stages, I actually figured out how to code, not through books, but through a certain PDF called Ruby on Rails tutorial by Michael Hartle. And it actually walked step by step into how to build a platform similar to a Twitter. I would search on Stack Overflow and Google how to build a search bar, for example, and then all of a sudden, with all of these various Google searches and code being pulled from other sites, then all of a sudden I was able to build what was the first working version of Mogul.